Today, I'm going to be talking about the importance of your environment. We kind of disregard the importance of our environment. I think, that's just something that we're always told and we kind of like ignore it. But I want to tell you today that it's actually extremely important. So today, I was redesigning my entire room, redecorating it, moving things around. I was moving this guy right here. It was on the other side of my room over there. For some reason, the drawers were broken. It was always constantly open. And I'd have to close it and it would open. I'd have to close it, it would open. And I found ways to circumvent the problem. I put like a little folded tissue in the middle of these. There's two separate ones. I put a little tissue in the middle so I could prop the desk a little bit up and they could stay hold. But I was like, dude, this is just tragic. This sucks. And it only took me until today, after I changed my environment, after I changed this guy's environment, I moved it to another place, that it actually started working properly. It didn't keep on opening like it was. From the looks of it, it was actually propped on a hill, on a little inclination of the floor that I can't notice from a naked eye. So it kept on opening, closing in that position. But when I switched its position, switched its environment, now it just stays closed. So I think this taught me an important lesson of the importance of your environment. Now, your environment will determine a couple of things. It will not only determine how well you work, but also what you work on, your skills, things as such. Sometimes we put in a bad environment and we have people telling us not the best things, we're doing not the best things, and we're just not living up to our greatest potential. So it's always important to reassess your environment and choose the people you hang around, choose the environment you live in. Now, one thing I've learned is that once I change my actions and I start living according to my purpose, which I've made, a couple previous videos touching on those concepts. Once I started living my truth, people who didn't resonate towards my purpose and my goals, we just didn't really click. When you start resonating to your goals, people kind of drop, leaving room for new people to grow and help you with your purpose. So it's always important to reassess your environment. Now, that goes one with relationships, but that also goes with actual physical environment, how you're living. Like if you're living in a mess, if you're living in, it's obvious that you're gonna get sad. You're gonna, It's like you're crowded, your mind is crowded. But one thing I noticed is that the way I've redesigned my room, it's cluster free. I have free empty space on my flooring for, my rug. I have free empty space just to move around. And it allows my mind to clear up as well. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm not focused on every little thing that I'm seeing. And I'm not saying that this is something that you consciously do, but I'm saying that every little change, it really matters on a higher level. So now you're working faster, you're working with a more clear mind, you have space to actually live. So make sure your room is clean. And I do that every single morning. I clean my room, make my bed, so I can keep that cleanliness and keep that habit. It's just a good habit for a person to have. The third thing on environment is not only your relationships and having a clean environment, but also your mental environment. You gotta have a good mental environment, a good mental state. The saying, we are what we eat, is so true, bro. It's so true. What we consume, we are. We put out what we consume. So if we're consuming, these low frequency content, or this low frequency music, if we're consuming like negative vibes from people, negative things like that, then we're not going to be putting out the best that we can do. We're always going to be being hindered. So it's always important to reassess your mental environment. We've all heard the quote, you need the faith of a mustard seed. And being that if you just believe just a little bit, that will blossom into this huge tree, because mustard trees evidently are super huge. So you just need a faith of a mustard seed, which is very, very small seed, to blossom this huge thing. But I think it's also evident to understand that mustard trees don't bloom everywhere. If you put a mustard seed in the desert, it's not blooming. It has to be the right environment, not only to mention the right season as well, the right season to blossom as well, but it has to be the right environment. So that means, you might have a little bit of faith, but if your faith isn't applied in the right environment, you're not going to reap the results that you're looking for. You know what I'm saying? And we can see that being evident in a lot of different ways. Like, for example, like in my own life, I've had times where I'm praying to God, hoping, begging for this one thing to occur. But that's just not according to God's will. God has much more for me. Like the places that I want to go into, God is like, yo, I have something better for you, bro. But I can't even see that because I'm only seeing what's around in my environment. God is not environment restricted. You know what I'm saying? So I'm only seeing what's in my environment. But it took God having to change my environment in order for me to start seeing the things that he wanted me to see. Because we see what's in our environment. So that's why it's so important to reassess your environment. Clean your room. Keep a clean room. Reassess your relationship and reassess your mental environment. And all these things will work together in helping you towards your journey to mastery. I hope this stuff helped you guys. Let me know how it helped you guys, like in the comment. Let me know if you want me to make another video on anything else. Keep the hope, keep the faith, because one day we're gonna make it.